You know how sometimes you just want to really get a place, understand its vibe, what makes it special, without like digging through tons of listings?
Yeah, skipping the generic stuff.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're doing today. We've heard a lot of interest in Lockwood Glen over in Franklin, Tennessee.
Hmm.
So we pulled together some really good insights on the local culture, the feel of it. Plus, a close look at the real estate market just from January to March this year.
And what's coming up, event-wise,
Yeah.
April through June?
Right. So think of this as your shortcut,
Yeah.
the inside scoop on Lockwood Glen.
Absolutely. And we're aiming deeper than just, the surface level. We've looked at the atmosphere, the actual market data, the community life,
The whole picture.
the whole picture.
Mhm.
The goal here is to really pull out what makes it tick, what gives it that
Whoa.
unique character, so you get a genuine feel for it.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Lockwood Glen.
Hmm.
It often gets described as finding that sweet spot, right? Modern living, but with that small town charm.
That's the common thread, yeah.
It almost sounds, well, picture perfect. Our sources kept mentioning these like postcard-worthy streets, tree line, lots of different home styles, townhouses up to bigger single-family places.
And what's interesting there is how consistently that visual harmony comes up. It's not just about, curb appeal. It hints at something more.
Like community pride.
Exactly. When a place looks cohesive, looks cared for, it often means people are invested. And that affects everything long term,
Yeah.
even property values.
Makes sense. And it's not just looking good, apparently. There's this balance. It feels like a peaceful retreat. Quiet streets, cul-de-sacs, green space, neighbors actually talking to each other.
Hmm.
But it's also really connected, easy access to downtown Franklin, I-65. Sounds kind of ideal, doesn't it?
It really does.
You can almost picture it, kids on bikes, people chatting on porches. Is that the vibe?
That's precisely the image that emerges. It's that classic neighborhood feel everyone seems to want now. Belonging, but, without giving up convenience.
Right, you don't have to choose.
You get both tranquility and accessibility. And those neighborly interactions you mentioned, the casual chats, that really points to the social fabric, what holds it together.
Now, Franklin itself, it has a lot of history, right? And it seems like Lockwood Glen residents really benefit from being part of that wider Franklin community.
Oh, definitely.
We saw mentions of the schools, Williamson County schools, which are, let's face it, a huge deal for families. Trinity Elementary, Fred J. Page Middle, and the high school.
And that's a key point. The reputation of Williamson County schools is a major draw for this whole area. So Lockwood Glen being zoned for those schools, that instantly boosts its appeal, especially for families prioritizing education.
It's interesting how that traditional focus on good schools kind of meshes with the modern community
It
feel.
is an interesting blend.
Because it's not just history in schools, there's also this active social life, people using the clubhouse, community events happening.
Yeah, it seems quite active.
It's like that old school front porch sitting vibe is still there, but you also have modern stuff like, high-speed internet. Best of both worlds, maybe.
That blend really seems central to understanding Lockwood Glen. It's not stuck in the past, it's dynamic. It embraces its roots and modern life. The clubhouse is the hub, yeah, but those events are crucial for building that community feeling.
And if you want more, downtown Franklin isn't far, right? With things like the Franklin art scene.
Just a stone's throw, basically.
So you get the close-knit community, but you're not, like, isolated.
Exactly. That proximity to downtown Franklin really adds another layer. More culture, more entertainment options. It stops it from feeling too suburban or removed.
Okay, let's talk amenities. The phrase resort style popped up a lot. Sounds nice.
It does catch the ear.
Apparently there are two pools. And the clubhouse we mentioned, acting as a social center, that paints a picture.
It strongly suggests a focus on leisure, on recreation, right within the neighborhood. Two pools implies capacity, avoiding overcrowding perhaps. And the clubhouse, being a hub, means it's likely well-used, central to community life.
And it's clearly family-focused too, right? Playgrounds, park areas mentioned specifically for kids, reinforces that family vibe.
Absolutely. Including kid-specific amenities shows they're really catering to families. Makes life convenient if you've got little ones as part of that well-rounded lifestyle package.
Something else, walkability. Sidewalks throughout. I always appreciate that.
Me too. Makes a big difference.
Plus, underground utilities. It's a detail, but it makes everything look cleaner, more appealing visually.
Those are the invisible things that significantly boost quality of life, aren't they? Sidewalks get people outside, interacting. Underground utilities just, well, they tidy things up. No ugly poles and wires.
And outdoor living seems big too. Lots of homes have covered porches, patios, screen decks. Like the design encourages you to be outside.
Which fits the Tennessee lifestyle, right? Enjoying the weather.
Totally. And then there's the Southeast Williamson County Park coming soon nearby. That's another big plus for the area.
Definitely. Private outdoor space is great, but having a large public park nearby adds another significant recreational asset for everyone.
Okay, let's shift gears. Let's dig into the numbers. The real estate market. Always revealing.
The proof is often in the pudding, as they say.
So we've got the data for closed sales January 1st to March 31st this year, 2025. And the word used is thriving. Makes you lean in, doesn't it?
It does. This snapshot gives us hard data on demand, on value perception, and Lockwood Glen. Closed sales tell the real story.
All right, so in Q1, 11 sales closed. The price range, pretty wide, started just under $800K for a new townhome,
Okay.
all the way up to over $1.27 million for a big single-family place. Finished basement, the works, the average, just over $1 million. $1,053,510 to be exact.
Well, okay, so that average definitely positions Lockwood Glen in the higher end of the market.
Yeah.
Reflects the quality, location, amenities we've been talking about.
Sure.
And the range shows there's some variety, but it's all within that sort of premium segment.
And the size of these places, from about 2,300 square feet up to almost 6,500, average around 3,700 square feet.
Big homes.
Yeah, and average beds, baths, 4.6 beds, 4.2 baths. These are not small starter homes.
No, clearly geared towards families or people wanting significant space. That average size and bedroom count confirms it. They're designed for larger households or, home offices, gyms, that kind of thing.
Price per square foot average was $300. Range went from $193 up to $339. What does that tell us?
Well, $300 a square foot on average is a solid benchmark for that area. The range reflects differences, age, finishes, maybe specific lot location. Is it new? Is it updated?
Right.
Without direct comparisons right here, that average suggests it's competitive, likely premium, compared maybe other parts of Franklin. Good value, but definitely reflecting the desirability.
Okay, now this caught my eye. Average days on market, 7. Just 7 days.
Why?
And some of the new builds, the pre-sales, had 0 days on market. That's incredibly fast.
That is very fast. 7 days average. That screams high demand, low inventory. If you're a buyer, you need to be ready to pounce. Like, have your financing lined up, be decisive.
No kidding.
And for sellers, it means your house probably isn't going to sit long. Might even get multiple offers. The zero dom on new builds just underlines how hot new construction is there.
And selling close to list price, too. Average was 98.62% of asking. Some new builds got 100%. Not a lot of wiggle room for buyers, it seems.
No, that tight list-to-sale ratio confirms the competitiveness. Sellers are getting their price, or very close to it. Suggests strong offers, maybe bidding wars, driving prices right up to or even over asking in some cases, though we see 100% here. Negotiation power seems limited for buyers right now.
Let's look closer at some sales. It's really striking that 7 out of the 11 were new construction pre-sales. That's a lot.
That's a huge percentage.
Dreamfinders Holdings seems to be the main builder active there in Q1. And these homes had the upgrades people want, right? Hardwoods, nice trim, finished basements.
All the desirable features.
Their prices ran from about $800K up to $1.25 million. What does that heavy new construction focus tell us?
It signals ongoing development, obviously, but also strong buyer appetite for brand new homes there. People are willing to pay a premium for new, maybe get some personalization options. It shows Lockwood Glen is still growing, evolving, and buyers have confidence in its future value.
And then there was that one standout sale, almost 6,500 square feet, Newcastle plan. Closed for $1.25 million.
Huge place.
6 beds, 5 baths, finished basement. Sounds massive. What does a sale like that show?
That highlights the top end of the market within Lockwood Glen. It shows the potential for truly large, luxurious family homes, sets the ceiling, in a way, for what's possible and what the market will bear price-wise in that neighborhood.
But it wasn't all huge houses. There was also that townhome, smaller, relatively speaking. Just under 2,300 square feet, closed for just under $800.
Right, and that's important too.
Yeah, why's that?
Because it shows there are other entry points, maybe for smaller families, downsizers, or just people who prefer townhome living. It broadens the appeal beyond just those massive single-family homes, while still offering access to all the same community perks. Still a premium price point, mind you, but relatively more accessible.
So, wrapping up the real estate picture,
Hmm.
what are the main takeaways? Active market, definitely. New construction is a big driver.
Huge driver.
Existing homes fly off the shelves, high demand, quick turnover, and seller concessions. Not really seeing much evidence of that in these particular sales, even if it's happening elsewhere.
Yeah, the overall picture is robust, competitive, new builds show confidence, quick sales show desirability, and the lack of concessions here suggests demand is strong enough that sellers don't need to offer them much, if at all. It's a seller's market, based on this Q1 data.
Okay, so that's the market snapshot. Let's look ahead a bit. What's life like there? What's happening soon? The upcoming events calendar gives us a flavor of that.
It really does. It shows the lifestyle in action, the opportunities for residents to connect.
So, coming up in April, the Franklin Main Street Festival. That sounds like a big deal. Downtown arts, music, food.
Yeah, that's a major Franklin event, draws crowds. Being close by makes it easy for Lockwood Glen folks to pop over.
And within Lockwood Glen itself, they apparently had a community Easter egg hunt planned, resident-led. That really speaks to that neighborly vibe again.
It absolutely does. That kind of resident initiative is a great sign of a strong, active community. People making things happen for themselves and their neighbors.
Then in May, the pool opening, mid-May usually. That's got to be a big day for residents, the unofficial start of summer.
Definitely a highlight when you have those resort-style pools. Becomes the place to be.
And the Franklin Farmers Market Spring Fling is every Saturday at the factory. Always love a good farmers market. Fresh stuff, local vendors.
Great atmosphere. And again, easily accessible for residents. A regular weekend outing. Supports local, too.
June brings wine on the rails. Sounds fun. A train ride near downtown.
Yeah, something a bit different, takes advantage of the local scenery. A nice adult outing.
And Lockwood Glen itself usually does a summer BBQ, right? Late June, HOA organized at the clubhouse. Classic neighborhood fun.
Exactly. And for anyone listening who might not know, the HOA, the Homeowners Association, often handles managing those shared amenities like the clubhouse and pools and organizing these kinds of community building events. It's part of the structure in planned communities like this.
Right. That BBQ sounds like the perfect way to connect with neighbors.
It's those kinds of planned social events that really help foster community spirit, make it easy for people to meet each other.
So putting it all together, what's the essence of Lockwood Glen? Why does it seem to shine? It really feels like more than just houses.
Precisely. Everything we've looked at points towards Lockwood Glen offering a whole lifestyle package. It's the combination, the quality homes, the great amenities, encouraging fun and socializing, and that underlying welcoming community feel. That synergy is key.
And the real estate numbers back that up, don't they? The speed, the prices.
Right.
People aren't just buying square footage, they're buying into that lifestyle.
The market data is the validation, really. It shows people value what Lockwood Glen offers and are willing to invest significantly to be part of it. The demand is clearly there.
And that event calendar just adds another dimension. It shows it's a living, breathing community with stuff actually happening.
Right. It's not just a pretty place, it's an active place.
Yeah.
It shows there's a buzz, opportunities to get involved, connect, and just enjoy living there.
So as you've joined us for this deep dive today, maybe think about what part of the Lockwood Glen story resonated most with you. Was it the community vibe, the pools and parks, the fast-moving real estate market, or maybe just the idea of having fun local events right nearby?
Yeah, what aspect aligns with what you look for in a place to live?
It really illustrates how different elements come together to make a neighborhood truly desirable, doesn't it? Hopefully this gave you some valuable insights, a real feel for Lockwood Glen without having to wade through everything yourself.
We hope so. Getting that deeper understanding efficiently.
And, who knows what interesting place or topic we'll dive into next time. So keep that curiosity going.